You are watching 9 News now, and we're going to take a live shot of Kerobokan prison, where Corby has been held for 9 years for smuggling drugs. We believe it is her sister, Mercedes' husband, coming out right now. Reporters are trying to find out how Chappelle is going.
Anything you can say about
Mercedes? We can see Mercedes and Mercedes' husband coming out right now. Let's have a listen.
Thank you. How is she doing? Alright, just bilang yang bahasa Indonesia itu ya. Ini, okay, saya omong satu aja ya. Bahasa Indonesia mana? Dari Indonesia di mana? Mana orang Indonesia?
Kalau gini gimana wawancaranya?
Oke. Diam.
Shush, everyone.
Shut up. Shush, let her talk. Thank you. Alright. Bahasa Indonesia dulu ya. Ya. Adik saya udah dekat 10 tahun dia di sini. Udah 1 tahun setengah cari PB. We just tungguin dia bebasnya ya. Suami mau ngomong.
Kita juga lama nunggu ini juga belum.
Bahasa Inggris.
Berita belum ada. Kita tunggu sebentar kan. Kita sebentar, semua juga tahu sebentar. Kita juga tidak tahu biar tidak salah. We just gonna berdoa.
Okay,
sama seperti kalian juga. Kita berdoa.
We've been waiting almost a year and a half. She's been eligible for parole for a year and a half. So we're waiting for it to be signed. And can you please give us some privacy?
Do you know when she'll be released?
We don't know yet.
Can I ask how Chappelle is reacting?
How is she going? How is she going?
Just
tell us how Chappelle is.
Please, your camera hitting us very bad.
Too late, too.
Yep.
Do you want to show you something now?
Just be careful.
As we can see, Mercedes there and her husband leaving Kerobokan prison. They don't know when Chappelle will be released yet. They are pleading for privacy. We do have Mark Burrows live on the scene. Mark, if you can hear me, it's Amber in the studio. Can you take us through exactly what's happening there?
Well, Mercedes and her husband, Wyan, as you can see, are trying to get on a motorbike here and get out of here, but the media crush here is terrible. The cameras, both Indonesian and Australian, are just simply not letting them get away. So it looks like they're driving off now. Well, they're trying to drive off here. There they go. Mercedes didn't let too much out.
Mercedes pleading in Indonesian with lots of reporters. What's the contingent like there?
It's huge, you know. There's about 100 people here. It's completely out of control. And the traffic here, the problem here is that the traffic is absolutely terrible. They're trying to get out here through the traffic just outside the jail. But what's interesting here, Amber, is... Oh, there they go. What's interesting here is that Mercedes hasn't walked out with Chappelle. That's significant. So there was the feeling that when Chappelle went in, when Mercedes went in there today, she might walk out later in the day with her sister. That hasn't happened. There are a lot of Australian consul officials. They have been in there. They've walked out. So I don't know what's happening here. It doesn't look like at this stage that Chappelle's going to come out soon. She would have come out with her sister. So it seems to be indicating things are not going to happen immediately. You saw a lot of frustration there. From Mercedes. You know, she's asking people to just be patient. She's clearly desperately wanting to get a sister out. But what was interesting there is that Mercedes actually did momentarily speak to the media. That seems to indicate to me things may have slowed down a bit. She is waiting for the word from Jakarta right now, for this minister to formally announce that he's signed the papers. And that's what everybody is waiting for at the moment, Amber.
Can you talk us through that process, Mark? What will happen when the Indonesian Justice Minister holds that media conference?
What he'll do, he won't probably refer to Corby directly by name. He'll refer to the 1,700 prisoners who have all got applications in, and the 1,700, of which Corby's one of them, all will be signed off on. So he probably won't try to mention Corby by name. He can't stand the fact that Schapelle Corby appears to get this special treatment in the eyes of the Australian media. So I think what he'll do, he'll announce probably around about 6:30 Sydney time that he has signed the documents. What we want to know, though, is Schapelle Corby is only about the second prisoner, foreign prisoner in Indonesia, to be released on parole. Late last year, a Frenchman who was arrested for drugs did get parole. His parole papers were stamped "release immediately." Now, we're expecting that this minister will say her papers have been stamped with the same order, "release immediately." If that's the case, there's still a chance that she could be released today. But there's still a lot of paperwork to be done. She still has to go to certain offices in Denpasar to be fingerprinted, and time's running out today, so we don't know. We might be back here on Monday.
Mark, what do we expect her parole conditions will be?
Well, the parole conditions include a strict dress code. So when she turns up to the police station and the Australian consulate to report in, she must be dressed appropriately. They clearly don't want her turning up in a bintang singlet. They want to show the various offices that she'll have to visit in Denpasar a bit of decorum and a bit of respect. She also has to be on good behaviour. So that means she cannot get into any trouble. She will have to lead a monk's life while she's here for the next 2 years. And as I say, there are reporting conditions. And she can't move anywhere in Indonesia without telling her parole officer. So at the moment, she's given an address in Kuta where she says she'll be with her sister. If she wants to go anywhere else, she can, but she must tell her parole officer.
Do we have any idea how long that parole will be?
Yeah, she'll be on parole for 2 years, so that's the remainder of her sentence. So that'll go for mid-2016. But she can't leave then. She's got to stay in Bali for another year, and it's a condition of parole. She has to be under supervision. So her sentence is finished, but it's just another order that the court and the corrections department have placed on her. So she won't be able to return to Australia until mid-2017.
OK, Mark, thank you so much for the update. We will cross back to you if anything else develops between now and that media conference that we are expecting about 6:30 our time.